I know this is going to sound really odd because it always sounds odd to me, and when I try to explain it to someone, usually it sounds like, what the heck? But I've known since I was a young child that I lived previous lives. Now, I didn't understand it like I do now as an adult, but when I was a young kid, I would have these dreams about things that I did, and it's kind of like it doesn't make any sense. Like I was walking around in like sheer pajamas, and I was talking to other women, and I was just, chit-chatting and talking about what are your plans, or where are you going, or who you're going with. And it's kind of one of those like, what? And then I would feel like really dry on my skin. And so then I started thinking like, maybe I'm in a harem, maybe I'm somewhere in like the Middle East where it's really dry, or a desert. And those kind of things just kept happening to me. I would have these kind of very vivid dreams in different locations, different time frames. One of the ones that was like really, really vivid for me is that I'm walking as a female, and I've got a male, like we locked arms in arms, and we're just kind of like looking at each other, all like giggly eyes, and he's so cute, and he's just so adorable, and he's talking to me, and he's asking me questions. And that's kind of the cool part about this, is that we're like walking, and I live in this huge like white house. Not the White House, but a white house with big columns in the front, and we're walking towards a river, and we're walking, and then we start walking down the river, and then it's one of those, all of a sudden we hear this noise behind us, and we both kind of turn and look, and the waters are expanding, like there's like this huge flood of water coming after us. And before we can say anything or do anything, we kind of look at each other, and then we're like washed down the river, and we're just like floating. And it's one of those like, I can feel like sticks around me, or different size sticks around me. I can feel like things hitting my legs, my arms, and I see him like pop up on the side of like a log near me, and he's like calling my name, and it almost sounds like Miranda or Miranda, something like that. And he's looking at me, and he's calling that name to me. So I figured that, okay, that's my name. And then the log twists, and he kind of goes under, and I never see him again. And that's kind of like the weird, crazy part. Like he was just here, and now he's gone. And like not knowing like what happened to him, like, most likely he drowned, but never quite feeling all of that energy with it. It's kind of the crazy stuff that can come through on our past lives with us. And it's kind of the interesting part of this is we've had so many past lives that have taught us lessons that we did wrong things in, and we learned karma about, and we did all kinds of crazy things. We've been married and had kids. We were males and we were females, back and forth. Like we've done all of this. Our soul has expanded in so many different areas. But let me give you a little hint, not just on Earth. I know that's kind of crazy. Not just on Earth. That is kind of the cool part about this. Sometimes I will get dreams or remembrances of past lives on different planets. One of them, I was like almost like a deep blue color. And I lived in the water, but I could breathe oxygen, but I lived in the water. And I didn't swim like a fish. I swam kind of differently. One of the ones that I saw that was kind of one of those interesting ones is that I was an animal similar to a horse, but I wasn't a horse, but it was very similar-ish, kind of like a cousin to a horse. And that's all that was on this planet. There were no humans, there were no any other anything like higher dimension energy there. It was just all this kind of a horse, and it was similar to a horse, like I said, but not completely a horse. These are kind of the remembrances that you may have from a past life, and you may go, where does this fit in with things? Well, when I was younger, I didn't understand how it fit into anything. Didn't get it at all. That's kind of the cool part. But as I've gotten older, I start to remember like, oh, that must be a past life, or I kind of like learn about it. Now the cool part is that I can talk myself into a meditation to go to that past life and pull out more information. Where was I at? When was I born? What did the planet look like? What did it look like from a distance? What did it look like close up? Were the trees leaves green or purple or yellow? Were the trunks of the trees, like, were they brown, green, blue, yellow, whatever it is? Like, that's kind of the cool part about this, is that you will have that interesting energy of like, I can literally remember what it feels like to walk on that ground on that planet, and the energies there are are so different from Earth. It's amazing. I even had a lifetime where I came to Earth as an alien to check on things, and kind of like had my little checklist of things of like, what do you need to do, or what do you need to take care of, all of that kind of crazy cool stuff. That's the cool stuff that you can remember when you go into your past lives. And I understand not everybody believes in past lives or believes that you can have past lives on other planets. That's not up for debate for me. That's something that I know I remember, and I know that I remember from my past lives. What do you remember from your past lives?